In conversation with Radisson's executive chef, Jed Archdeacon, Chef Jed.
Yes.
I know you've been asked this question 100 times, but how did it all start? Why are you a chef? How did you choose this profession?
Well, originally I was starting to be a musician when I was in Australia. So I've always liked art and creativity. And I actually became a chef by mistake. I was supposed to go to the West Australian Symphony Orchestra to do my high school training, but I booked it at the last minute. So instead, for my on-the-job training, I got sent to a golf country club where they had a fine dining restaurant. So I ended up in the kitchen at 15 years old, and I actually really fell in love with it. So after a week, I told my parents I was leaving my music scholarship and I was becoming a chef. So my mum and dad were really happy about that. No, they didn't take it well at all. But yeah, so that's basically how I started. So I started cooking professionally at the age of 16.
So I've read that you've been on a culinary journey throughout Asia and Middle East. So if you had to choose, which country's cuisine would you say that it inspired you the most?
I'd have to probably say Chinese in regards to it's a very complicated cuisine. It's also very regional as well. I guess from a passionate aspect, my personal taste has already been in the region of India, Bangladesh. I really love the aromats, the spices, which is one of the reasons why I'm here.
So if a Bangladeshi food enthusiast comes to your festival, then what do you think they're going to take away from this?
Well, I definitely think that they'll take away a certain degree of innovation. We're doing some pretty cool things. My personal favourite is something that we're actually got as we've imported over whole lambs, whole goats. I have a spit. We had a spit especially made with a local supplier. So we've had our lamb and we're putting it over there for about 7 to 9 hours depending on the size of the lamb. So we've taken a few of those happy sheep and we've brought them over. So yeah, I mean, to cook that, and we're actually doing that in the restaurant as well. So it's live charcoal, live spices. The smell gets in the restaurant. It's a bit of a Middle Eastern style cooking technique. I guess also it comes down to detail in presentation and production. For example, I'm very proud of our pies that we're doing here. We've got a really great pie crust recipe that we've been working on here for about a month, training and retraining. And we're really braising our meats at a really, really low temperature, so the meat's really tender. We've got some interesting pies as well. We're doing some pigeon pies, some venison pies, so we're getting a little bit more gamey and gourmet. And then definitely the desserts. I mean, the desserts, we're using really high-end ingredients. Our chocolate is Calibre chocolate. It's a very good Belgium chocolate. So I think when the guests come, the desserts aren't overly sweet, but you can really taste the richness in them as well. We have some really boutique olive oils and vinegars that we're using here as well, and they're also on display in the restaurant. And our cheeses, I've got a really huge cheese board in the restaurant, which is one of my favourite things as well. It's about 2 metres by 1 metre. Goes Chevre, Australian Blue. I mean, I've got a selection, I think, of 7 cheeses rotating every day. And it's just huge. This is basically a deconstructed board with little herbs. It's like little miniatures everywhere. So it's a bit like a Legoland with cheese, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it looks pretty cool, it tastes cool.
So as you know, we are from Harriken, and Harriken is an app which lets you rediscover restaurants in Dhaka. So if I visited Australia, if I do, as a tourist, how would you suggest I explore the food scene there?
Well, I'd probably say we have really similar apps to Harriken in Australia as well, and I think that they're a really great tool. Because you get a lot of foodies, that are there. And a lot of foodies exchange information. That
ends our interview, and I'm hoping you a great event.
Harriken diye kujo.